Previously on Elysia Rising.
It is good to finally meet you, Master Cadwallader.
I thought it'd be fair to see eye to eye.
There's a tilt of the head from Nephene. You managed to procure that with which I asked?
Indeed.
This box is an arcane focus of incredible power. Whatever spell you are wishing to focus it upon, I would want to be involved.
I am more than happy to offer patronage to those who have been scorned by the dragons. Atta, as you're kind of laid down on this bed, you begin to picture a face. It's a screaming face. Your eyes open wide. You watch as this spirit just forms fully in front of you. The screaming spirit of this shield bearer is seemingly trying to choke the life out of you.
Atta, she's like, I have to stop playing around. That moment she would have reached for like a ghost bottle and the command would have been, get in.
And you watch as the shield bearer is absorbed into the orb, and the room goes quiet, except for the sobbing crying of the Majani woman in the corner.
Welcome to Elysia, the jewel of the north. On our gilded streets, fortune and fame can be found by anyone.
Hi, I'm Julia, and I'm playing Magpie, an ace of our lurk.
Hi, I'm Nate, and I'm playing Khavren, a dragon-scent slide.
Hi, I'm Meg. I'm playing Frida, a wolfkin cutter.
Hi, I'm JC, and I'll be playing Algernon, an ace of our spider.
Hello, I'm Errol. I am playing Atta, a goblin whisperer.
And my name is DM Dan. I will be the games master on this adventure.
So come on in and marvel at our wonders. Make sure you see the beautiful views we have to offer, and don't mind the ghosts. They're friendly, really. Grab yourselves a seat and make yourselves welcome in the city of Elysia.
Hello and welcome back to Explorers of Elsewhere's Elysia Rising campaign. Hi, I'm DM Dan.
Hello.
And I am joined by 4 of the most stressed out people you could ever meet.
No,
How could we? We've all got tea now.
we're all good. We're all chill.
We rejoin you after witnessing a very a rather intense encounter of the spiritual and ghostly kind. Atta and the Khavren are feeling a bit worse for wear. But yeah, now it's time for some downtime. Who would like to kick us off? I'm gonna be generous and pass this out to you.
Wow.
Don't all rush at once.
That's the wrong call, Dan.
Tell you what, let's start. Given that she Atta is the whisper of the hour, let's start with Atta.
Okie dokie. I think Atta's looking at this like ghost that she's just like, sucked into this orb. And she was thinking of her grandma, and she's been very conflicted lately about like, she's been thinking more deeply about, are these ghosts really okay? What the experiments that the Hollow are doing, are they they seem in like a lot of pain, and I guess Atta doesn't want to keep this ghost, but she doesn't want to give this ghost to the Hollow, which she could do to get some coin. But I think she wants to try and start figuring out how I can't think of a better way to word it, but how to like help the ghosts, essentially, to like possibly whether they could be released safely, put to rest. So I think her stress relief is, instead of gazing at Bubble is going to be like that, still like that level of intensity of like obsession with the weird, but it's now focused on how could I possibly help this ghost get over the other side? Would that help? Would that not help? Is releasing a good thing? And I think all of this is slightly a stream of consciousness as Atta and Khavren kind of walk back towards. Yeah, but Khavren, maybe we should be helping the ghosts. They're not having a good time.
I know, but if we release them, we're not going to have a good time. Are you sure? Are you really sure about this?
I mean, if I can find out, maybe I won't be able to find out what they're angry about or what they want or why they want to hurt us so much. But maybe I can find a way to like, I don't know, put them somewhere better than the mushroom farm, and maybe also somewhere better than outside the Vale. I don't know.
Khavren is gonna, obviously with Atta being much smaller than him, I think he's just gonna put like a hand on her head, and say like, well, if anyone can do this, I think it will be you. So let's give this a go, and let's not try and worry the others about this, okay?
Okay. Yeah, they've got a lot on their plates at the moment. Algie seems pretty strung out.
So, this, if you're, which district are you heading to do your? You've done your catch. Now you're doing your release.
City map. I mean, my first thing was like, why didn't I go to like near where the castle is? No, the castle's gonna have real high like security. I think from when Atta was looking around, and there are just there are ghosts in the mausoleum, right? And they are kind of hanging out there.
So that is, I guess that's one thing for you, perhaps a question to ask yourself, is that, in the mausoleum, you know that you were in the presence of, like, an obscene number of just roaming spirits. They were just loitering in the area. But ghosts eat people. Like you've encountered now within the space of the past few weeks, you've now had an experience with three separate encounters up at Amringer's, in the Hollow hideout, and just now, of spirits appearing and then immediately trying to gorge on the living. So, like, I guess a question for Atta at some point is, why isn't the mausoleum a scene of absolute bedlam?
Yeah, what's different?
What's the difference? But yeah, you definitely don't want to do it in the Ivory, because there's a lot of eyes on the Ivory right now.
Yeah. Maybe the release isn't happening right now, but the stress reduction time is spent like poring over the memories at the mausoleum, like what felt different, what was different, and probably taking a few like visits around the area in like the vicinity to kind of.
Sure. Okay. In which case, roll me. So 2 dice on the left-hand side of the screen. is an indulge vice. You are at 8 stress, and this will be a 1 dice off the back of your resolve.
Well,
Cool. So you clear 3 stress. You are down to 5. What is your second downtime?
so I didn't get healed. Instead, something bad happened. But there is another thing that I want to do,
Yes.
which I may. I feel like, as much as I want to try and heal, I don't actually know where I could go now. And the other thing that I know we need to do is we need to figure out a way to talk to Tovarienne. I think I might spend time. Is it the project? How we were doing projects or acquiring?
So effectively, yeah, we would consider it like a long-term project, but we boil it down to a single dice roll.
Okay.
So you're looking to have an Atta with Tovarienne?
I'm trying to construct a method, however proficient or crude, to have simple conversations whilst a ghost is still bottled without releasing them, because we don't know how to release them safely.
Okay.
So can I put clippers onto the bottle of Tovarienne, hook it up to a potato, and then we don't have potatoes, mushroom, and then a Ouija board or something? I don't know.
I'm sure that between the Tovarienne in a bottle and wizard in a bottle, effectively you're trying to make one be like the other.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you could definitely kind of engineer something, doing kind of magical, spooky, ooky dooky stuff to be able to try and converse with Tovarienne whilst she's still contained. I mean that straight up isn't a tune. There's no beating around that bush.
Dice.
So in this downtime, is anyone else helping? Would anyone like to dedicate their second downtime to helping Atta try to get in touch with Tovarienne? Bear in mind, if anyone wants to help but still keep their 2, we can do it in exchange for a coin. So off the back of last or a rep, so off the back of last mission, you all gained 8 coin. You'll be able to fence the 4 loot that you picked up for a further 4 points. You came away with 12. Wow. You need to pay 2 to the Ilnashi for the gold pot, and they're very insistent on that because they've got a night of lost earnings.
So it's down to 10.
You've got an additional 10 in the kitty now.
How many can we actually store in the kitty?
Well, the crew, by the looks of it here, has 2 coins in the stash and can only take another 2.
So why do we do it the rest?
Well.
And how much would it cost next time to upgrade our tier?
16.
Oh.
What? How are we ever supposed to store that much? How much did we not
We've
get
got
bigger
4
coffers?
spaces each personally, and then we can
Okay.
When we upgrade our XP, I think we can upgrade to a vault.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So when the crew, if you get another 2 crew XP, then you can buy a vault, and then that will give you. Where is it? It's under upgrades. So you can choose 2 upgrades if you're doing that, and a vault gives you an additional 4 coin space.
Right.
Just bear in mind that if you are carrying coin on your person, actually that should be a load per coin.
What?
Yes, because carrying around a lot of money on your person. People know you're carrying a lot of money on your person.
I think speaking to Tovarienne is important enough that I'm willing to spend a coin to have an extra downtime for Algie.
We should definitely spend a coin.
Well, actually, just while I'm thinking about it, if we put 2 coin in the stash to fill it up to 4, So
Okay.
between the rest of you, you need to store 8 coin on your persons.
So spend 1 for an extra. Now you can spend an extra 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's good with me.
Cool. Right, so I'll put 1 coin in Frida.
It will take me back to 3 dice for this attune roll. So, is it risky, controlled?
So, because you're operating at home with all of your tools and whatnot, I'm going to say it's a controlled standard to begin with.
Okie dokie. I'm so scared to roll dice. Yay!
Success. You do it. Okay. How is Algernon helping? How do you imagine what's that looking like?
I'm going to try and attune, or sort of use Algernon's attuning powers and his experience with foresight and all the spirit stuff we've encountered. I guess to channel Tovarienne. He remembers the.
You still have the letter that she was holding?
I believe I do. The little piece of thing that we took from her hand.
Sure. Okay.
And he attunes into his failed desire right at the beginning of this to speak to her and meet her after Memorial Day.
Okay. In which case, through that sort of like spiritual focus, and through Atta's manipulations, Atta, you successfully kind of adapt the ghost orb in such a way that you may now speak with the spirit within.
I think I've more artfully than duct taped, but figured out how to attach a mic to the bottle, and Algie's got a pair of really ridiculous steampunk headphones, and it's there's a little dial with a little radio frequency, and Atta's there trying to what do you hear, Algie?
I've got my camera as well set up as sort of like a mirror system to look through the viewfinder.
Okay, very good. So yeah, we've turned the camera and steampunk headphones.
They just look like 2 cans, but yeah.
Sure. So in which case, after you are now able to have a chat with Tovarienne, if you want to, but that'll be its own kind of downtimey bit, free timey bit kind of thing. Okay, cool. Very well done, Atta. Who's next? Tell you what, Algernon's in the room. What's Algernon doing next?
So I have a spidery thing that I want to do, but first, there's something that Nethene said has Algernon kind of shook and intrigued. And I think, Magpie, you'll notice around Codwella de Manas, some of the wallpaper has been ripped away, and the portrait of Lord and Lady Codwellada that hangs in the main hall has been taken down and destroyed, and the frame ripped away, looking for clues behind the painting. And you follow the sort of trail of destruction to the old nursery room, the room where Frida's been practicing her racket.
Yeah.
But it's not Frida that you find wrecking in there. You tearing up the floorboards or the inside of the old furniture and the wallpaper in a sort of fervor of curious destruction.
Oh, what you doing there, champ?
Magpie, I've been thirsting for a decent cryptic clue this whole time, and our friend Lady Neffin gave us a juicy one. I know you clocked it.
I did. This is about her comment about it being hard on both of you?
Quite.
Do you have any idea who she was talking about?
My mother raised falcons. Have I told you this before? Maybe it was in the future.
Sure.
Hunting birds, selectively crossbred for speed and pedigree.
Right. What has that got to do with this?
What's your path, Amina?
Oh, the socialite. It's all very boring.
Well, mine, I inherited a military one from my father. My mother's was slightly more family-oriented. Good breeding, as they say. But I'm not sure they were talking about the birds. And I would like to essentially do a long-term project to study the ruins of Codwallada Manor for any evidence of a secret sister.
Roll me a controlled limited to start. Because again, we'll condense it into a roll. Conduct a controlled limited. Would you like to?
Oh, I've done it.
Magpie, you watch as Algernon descends into this like freneticism that you've never seen from him before. I can only imagine an intense kind of drive in his kind of hobble gait as he kind of goes round, you notice, without the crutch. Pulling back wallpaper, ripping up carpets, smashing through hollow wood furnishings on the wall, like hollow spots on the wall. And Magpie, how long, in like minutes or hours, do you stand watching Algernon tear his home apart as he moves from room to room?
I don't think she can tear herself away as long as it takes him. I think it's probably, what do you reckon, JC? Would it be a good sort though? Yeah.
In which case, with every room, Algernon's destructive efforts, like destructively investigative efforts, become more and more like extreme. And who else is in the manor right now? That sounds like Atta will be in the house somewhere in the manor.
Somewhere.
Okay. So yeah, you glance up from like you're still doing your research on the Tovarienne orb, and you watch sort of like Algernon stride past your door, the door to the room you're in, with a crowbar in hand. And Magpie, you watch as Algernon starts like splitting the door frames for some of the upstairs rooms. And it's when you do that one of them comes away surprisingly easily, like easier than the rest. And the two of you look at the side of this door, or this shattered door frame, and you notice that there are horizontal scratches on the door frame, going up and up. And you note there are dates. And half of the lines are annotated with an A, and the other are annotated with a D. And Algernon, you stand looking at these marks. And the fact that they are layered on top of one another would imply that this D, whoever they are, was here, in this house, with you. So why do you have no memory of them? There is nothing that comes to mind as you look at that letter D. And you glance across to the shredded painting that was halfway up the flight of stairs of you and your mother and your father before that fateful trip. Who is the letter D?
I think Algernon just sort of collapses against the door frame, just starts laughing.
Magpie looks very nervous. Algernon, what does it mean?
For the first time in my life, I don't quite know.
You run through your memories. Your lonely childhood, the only child of House Cadwallader. Your distant parents being sent away to boarding school, getting a spot in the Elysian universities, all the way through to your induction into the Elysian Intelligence Corps. All of these memories are vivid because you can remember them as vividly as they happened, as photographic as the images from your camera. Who is D?
One letter, it's a decent start for a crossword clue. I mean,
And what would you like to do for your second downtime?
right. So, I think I'm going to take another big swing, spidery swing. And I would like to, flashing back in time from this moment, I sort of catch wind that Atta and Khavren are heading to the gold pot. And I would like to instruct either one of them to take Musto's magic orb and place it there in the possession of the Ilnashi and Lady Null.
Okay.
Where I intend for it to be found.
Okay. Was that... So Khavren and... You instructed Khavren and Atta?
Either or, whichever one of them wanted.
I imagine this will be a Khavren jobby, as Atta was away with the fairies, you noticed. Okay. So... Well, that's... are you looking for a downtime outcome of that? Is that like a reduced heat or it could be a ruffling the feathers on the reputation clocks?
Yeah, so basically I want to turn Songbird's relationship with the Ilnashi slightly worse and get some of the heat away from Musto and the Cobbles.
Okay. In which case, whilst it's your action, Khavren, I am going to ask you to tell me how you discreted this orb in the gold pot. Like what ability you're using.
What ability am I using? I think I'll use a prowl while I think it was with full intentions to sort of put it somewhere when like he knew that there wasn't much attention going on, but because of now the hubbub that's happened and that there's people probably like evacuating the gold pot at the moment, he's going to use that opportunity to do a prowl and just leave it somewhere that is probably more like, it's not just like out in the open, it's like close to where where any of the Ilnashi probably do like have like secret conversations. Only really where they have access to.
Okay. In which case, please roll me it can't be controlled. I'm going to say a risky standard prowl. I assume you are not pushing yourself. Because that
No.
will give you trauma.
Can I help by causing a hubbub in
I
the
mean,
other
you
room?
already have.
You already are.
technically.
Yeah.
So actually, you know what? I will give you a free extra dice because of the absolute bedlam that ensued.
Yeah. Here we go then. Risky standard.
4.
Okay. So, Khavren, we flash back and you're in the gold pot, like in the back rooms of the gold plot, like looking around thinking, where on earth am I going to store this thing? Like looking around for a spot that's not too that's discreet, but not too discreet. And in the ensuing chaos, you do manage to sneak it away, but but you hit when you heard the screams that kind of spurred you on to just kind of put it down effectively and check on Atta. So I'm going to impose a complication. And in the aftermath, as you and Atta make yourselves scarce from the gold pot, as the whole place gets locked down, an arcane orb is found by the investigating watch and confiscated as part of their efforts to determine what had happened. But the watch investigates clock has now completed, and yeah, we'll see what comes up after the watch have confiscated this arcane contraband. Cool. So that was Algernon's third downtime because you helped with Tovarienne. Let's swing across to Khavren while the focus is aimed at you.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna distress because I think I need to.
No.
I think once Khavren sort of knows that Atta is okay and she's sort of tinkering on with her own stuff and muttering excitingly as she does to herself.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is going to go to the chandelier and see who is about for some potential fun.
Sure. Okay, go ahead and roll me a 1 dice. Indulge. And you are at 2, 3, 4, 7 stress.
Indulge vices. 7 stress. Oh, that's beautiful.
Nice.
I see it.
Very
you
nice.
can describe to me up to 3 patrons of the chandelier.
Oh. I'm gonna say it's 2 rather.
I'm gonna say actually, give me 2, and I'll give you the 3rd.
Okay, I'm gonna say that it's 2 rather athletic performers that are usually outside, sort of doing circus acts and things like that. That sort of hang around Celestri. Let's say they are. Let's say they're Lorivar. Khavren likes Loravars.
Okay.
But yeah, a man and a woman.
Okay.
Actually, let's say that gender is Unknown. Just likes to look at both of them. They look like fun.
Okay. Question mark and question mark. Cool. The third
Is Roth.
the third
Jeff.
Room for one more.
okay, so yeah, Khavren, you become embroiled with these two Lorivar, but your interest is particularly piqued when they inform you that you are just the kind of person that their boss would be very interested in meeting. The circus manager, if you will, the circus runner, because he's like you know, but not quite. And you are introduced to a red-scaled dragon scent wearing lilacs, magentas, and cyan blue flowing fabrics, and curiously, a serpentine lower body. And as he locks eyes with you from behind these rose-tinted glasses, he...
Well, isn't this a delight?
He says. And then you do the naughty, and you reduce 6 stress.
Sorry.
No, describe it, Dan. Describe it.
Where has he been hiding for the past 2 years? Like, how has Khavren not come across this guy?
This is a very good question, Khavren. As the slithering commences. But yes, you discover that this gentleman's name is Vauntham. Vauntham. Vauntham.
Blimey.
And yes, he is a dragon scent. He keeps himself to himself. He keeps his social circles tight. That's how he prefers them, because of his unique build. So, you come out with shaky knees. What's your second downtime?
I thought I had it all planned, but now I'm interested.
Now I would like to overindulge for a second go, please. I would like to run the risk of being lost for weeks.
Can you imagine? He's had to come up with a new character halfway through this short campaign.
Because originally I was going to do some training. But now I think I want to do a long project and find out more about this chappie. Yeah, let's do that. Let's find out more about him.
Okay. So again, we'll condense to one roll. How are you going about investigating the enigmatic Vauntham?
I guess probably asking the people who work for him, so asking those circus folks. Just asking more information about him, sort of like where he, sort of like, does he come here often? Does he, like how did they find, like how did he find out about them? Like where would he usually be? Like, is this his usual haunt? Because obviously, I would guess Khavren would go to the Chandelier fairly often, so I don't think he would have seen him before. Actually, scratch that. Can I just ask him in some pillow talk?
Sure. That sounds like a consort. Ye old pillow talk. So I'm going to say... you rolled a 6, so clearly everyone did a good job. So I'm going to say controlled... Mystery controlled limited.
Limited.
You can stress yourself back up if you like to push yourself.
Yeah, I'm very tempted to, actually. I'm going to push myself to make it a standard. A controlled standard.
Okay. So, with the consort, that is a 2 dice. 2 dice controlled standard roll.
Ooh.
Okay.
Success.
You do it.
Yeah, I do.
You already did it.
I already did it.
So,
Obviously did something you liked.
Wow.
what is it you would like? So what are the 3 things you want to know?
Where's he been all my life?
Yeah.
Is he some sort of a devout to any faith?
Mhm.
Like, or to any particular god himself?
Mhm.
And where does he think the veil came from?
Okay.
Well, Khavren, you have to understand, I do my very best to keep myself to myself. My unique form is particularly eye-catching, and I care not for unfettered attention. I like to curate who pays me attention at the best of times. So, I linger in the shadows. I oversee the dancing troops throughout Celestry. They are all beholden to my will. I am a discreet whisper, and nothing more. And this pains me, because yes, I am a devout, but not of one that is celebrated within the confines of Elysia anymore. I owe my lineage to Meladani, the Reveler. She is a beguiling mistress, and through my efforts through the city, I pay homage to her and her alone. Some would consider this debauchery, but I know that only through revelry can we rise. And I do what I can for the people of Elysia to give them something to cling on to in the cold, dark expanse of this void. Everything comes from somewhere. Even as we Dragonsent question the true nature of our origins, we acknowledge that we must come from somewhere. And such is the same for the veil. I believe that hidden within the dark, dark heart of this city, there lies the secret to our salvation. And only the uninitiated and the foolish would be blind to the impending dangers we are faced with. I assume you have heard what has happened at the Gold Pot.
Yes. Interesting state of affairs.
So, whatever it came from, it's clear that it is in decline. Whether it be an artifact, a spell, a person, whatever it may be, they are not long for this world. I find it curious, don't you, that the Blackguard would go to all of the effort they have gone to secure a pile of ruined and burnt out masonry
Yes. I think it is.
I wonder what secrets lurk in those silent minds. What I would give to show one of the Blackguard a world of pleasures and dance, in exchange for a glimpse behind those lustrous ruby eyes.
If you agree to keeping relatively close contact, maybe we can help you with that.
The Vormtham smiles, and it's the same wicked, like devilishly insinuating smile that he first reeled you in with. But yes, he approves of this arrangement, so I will add, I'll figure out exactly what it is, but currently he is Vormtham, Dragon Center Lothario, to your allies list.
Right.
Very good. That was your second. Magpie.
Right. I would like to indulge my vice because I'm quite stressed, please.
Yes.
So I'm going to nick something from my parents' house and I'm going to give it to an orphanage.
Okay.
That's what I do.
Roll for indulgence. It is a 2 dice roll.
Yeah.
And you have 7 stress.
Yes. So I would like a bit.
5 stress. Okay. So you drop down to 2.
2. Cool. I love that.
Wonderful. Tell me what it is you stole.
I stole a lovely. It was a brooch last time, wasn't it? So this time a lovely necklace.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
No one needs that many necklaces.
The worker at the orphanage looks very confused as you hand over a necklace. They thank you.
I mean, I make donations all the time, so
that's true.
They trust me.
That's true.
They know this is just bequeathed from House Revell, with compliments.
Sure. So they thank you for your gracious, your generosity, and they begin their conversations with their local fence.
Yes, they must have a pretty good fence, given all the stuff I've been giving them.
Okay, so you're down to 2 stress. What's your second?
So I wanted to be a bit dull and train because I am 1 pip away from filling up my insight.
Okay.
And I would like to take a 3rd pip in Tinker as a result.
Okay.
Right. So that is what I do for my second. So I think I'm probably... Where would I do that? Probably just around Cadwallader Manor. I'm just picking them all over the house. Any that Algernon's not destroyed recently.
Amazing. Okay, so you level up. You get your 3rd pip in Tinker. Very, very good.
Thank you.
And that is Magpie.
Thank you.
In a nutshell.
Damn.
So that brings our downtime to a close. You've just got some time to kill, haven't you? What is it you'd like to do? So, where are you all reconvening after your evenings?
Can I make a request that maybe we get together to read the book about tarot and also maybe talk to Ghost Tovarienne?
Yes! That sounds great.
Okay.
We get in our pajamas, we sit around.
We're reading the same book.
So I assume, like, I'm picturing that you're up in sort of like the attic, the converted attic type room of Cadwallader Manor.
Yeah.
Which has become sort of like Atta's workshop. As you all gather with the book you found in Castle Antalir on the Lady in Purple, as you begin leafing through the tome, I guess it just stands like, how's this going? What are you doing? What questions are you asking? How are you approaching this?
So I guess remind us what the book is on, Errol.
It was like a scroll. I searched for tarot in the library, and there was like a scroll about
It was like
it said the Lady in Purple, wasn't it?
The Lady in Purple.
It's like it's almost like a diary entry on the Lady in Purple.
So the question is, what's the deal with the Lady in Purple?
So you open the scroll, and to put it kindly, it's a bit of a crazed, hurried writing. Just like someone was scribbling this down on the parchment before the memory of it kind of evaporated from their mind. It's her. She's here again. I see her wandering the grounds. Tonight, I had the courage to ask her name. She laughed. The Lady in Purple. I asked why she was here. She laughed. She said she was bored. I offered her a seat in our gaming room. She declined. I asked, why haven't I seen you before? I don't recognize you. She told me she was merely visiting. She comes from somewhere else. The beauty of her eyes. It fascinates me. There's a knowledge in those eyes. An unfathomable, incalculable knowledge. She knows what I'm about to ask before I ask it. And she simply laughs. Will I see you again? She smiles. I suspect you will, she says. Sometime between now and the end of days. She winks. I hear movement from the gardens behind me. When I turn back, she is gone. When will I see you again, my beloved Lady in Purple? And you glance at the date, Atta. This scroll is over 300 years old.
Ooh.
What you doing next?
Oh boy. I think we might have we as characters shared our theories about who she is? A little bit.
I think we talked about how infuriating she is.
Yeah, but we haven't chatted as characters, have we, about how weird she is, how otherworldly she seems. Because I feel like the 300-year date stamp on that scroll, describing very much the lady we've seen, would sort of confirm our suspicions that this is some kind of non-mortal, timeless creature, potentially.
So you all know that the longest lived peoples within Elsewhere are the goblins. And Atta, you fondly think back to some of the most crotchety, crickety old goblins that you know, but it is rare for a goblin to reach 200. Get into the hundreds, and you can all immediately imagine a goblin that's hit like 150, as seemingly their body shrinks into their heads and their facial features can muster nothing more than a grimace at the world around them. but all the other races would live to, 80 to 100 at a push. But this is 300 years old.
I think one of the things Atta will do as we were talking is, I think Atta, taking inspiration from this scroll, will find some paper and start to, in a similar fashion, like note down the things that they've observed about the Lady in Purple, the coins, like basically kind of may as well begin a record of what we've known.
Sure. Okay, so as you begin making that list, are you interacting with the Tovarienne orb?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, Errol, you can tell me what Atta has done to jury rig this orb, and then we'll kind of run from there. Like how you interact with it, what you can do with it.
With Algie's camera as well, I like to think perhaps like there's like a very blurry kind of smudged and smoky kind of silhouette or figure that might appear. But I kind of imagine it as like there is like a microphone-esque like kind of attachment to maybe the stopper of the bottle or another area of the bottle that we can kind of speak into, and that there's either like headphones or like a little speaker that maybe like if you could tune into the right frequencies will kind of crackle out an answer. So
okay.
I just kind of ask a question, I guess. We'll see how it goes.
So what's the first question?
I think Algernon's just going to see if she responds. My Lady Tovarienne.
There's an uncomfortable silence. And then... Hello? Who's there?
People who believe in your cause, my lady.
I can't see you. I can't see where you are, dear. Where am I?
Do you remember Remembrance Day? Lady, you spoke very eloquently about the nature of sacrifice.
Yes. Remembrance Day. I remember. Yes, I remember the people, the faces, the cheering, What's happened to me? I remember. Algarve. I remember. What has happened to me, dear? Why can't I see you?
I'm afraid you may have already deduced what's happened, milady. You are an intelligent person. But you are safe.
But am I safe? I can't. I feel it's empty. Everything around me is empty. I can't. Your voice is the first I've heard, and I can't see or hear or feel anyone. Dear, please, don't leave me here.
Khavren's gonna put a hand on Magpie's shoulder and say, Magpie, you were one of the last people to speak to her.
Yes?
Maybe hearing your voice will help her calm a bit.
I barely spoke to her at all.
Well, it might be worth it. It might be worth a go.
Hello, Lady Tovarienne.
That voice. I remember your voice.
Yes, we met that day after your speech, shortly before Algarve came.
You're the lady, the young lady, with the kind but sad eyes.
We met briefly in the street. I'm so sorry for what happened to you, Tovarienne. But I sort of look at the others a bit like, what? Atta.
Tovarienne,
Reassure her. We're not going to leave her. Tell her.
Tovarienne, you're still incredibly important, and we don't want bad people to do anything to you, so we're keeping you safe. But can you tell us why the veil is failing?
There's another, silent pause. Yes. I remember I was talking to that strange lady. She told me that the veil was dying. I remember. Is that what's happened? Has the heart of Elysia died?
Not yet. And we want to stop that from happening, but we have to know more.
I don't. It's that the lady in purple. She seems to know everything that's happening. I think she told me that she'd spoken to the other people through the city. She told me it sounded like she'd spoken to Algarve and a lady a lady called the Songbird, and I think she spoke to Odelmerce and the High Priestess. And she wanted to tell me because she knew that I would try to do the right thing. Because everyone else, it would seem, wanted to do the opposite. That she told me that this Songbird lady, she was with another. He overheard what was happening and disagreed with what Songbird wanted to do. And that this lady in purple said it was fascinating to watch them bicker, to watch a love instantly sour. She found it so exciting, she wanted to tell me, to see if she could sour my love.
Your love for what? For who?
The city, dear. The city. After she wanted to see if my love for the city would sour, if I knew the truth. If I knew what lay at the heart of Elysia. And that's when Algarve came. The only other person that knew. You must find that purple lady. You must get her to tell you the answers. And whatever you do, you must find the heart of Elysia, whatever that is.
We'll find it. Thank you.
There may still be time, Tovarienne, for you to help us do the right thing.
But what is that? What is the right thing that she wanted you to do?
The orb is silent.
Tovarienne, are you still there?
The orb is silent.
Do ghosts get tired, Atta?
Atta, have you got your glasses? What can you see?
Oh, I'll hand them to you if you. I'm fiddling with all the dials and knobs.
Khavren will put the soul-seeking goggles on.
The orb glows with the same kind of slight intent, like mild intensity that Atta tells you is normal. So it would seem that the spirit of Tovarienne is still in fact encased, but for whatever reason she seems unable to speak. And Khavren, like, you're looking at the orb and then you take a moment to kind of glance left and right, because I think this is the first time you've worn the soul sight goggles, right?
Yeah.
So you see the sort of like the bluish whitish kind of outlines of your companions. And then, as you sort of like marvel at what it is you're seeing, you notice an impossibly bright light in the doorway. And as you turn and you have to squint despite wearing the goggles, and you see the outline of a woman raise a finger to her lips, and then the light goes out. And as you take the goggles off to check, everyone else, you notice Khavren looking cute, like frantically at the door, which is empty.
I think Magpie's going to just on instinct run to the door, look out into the hallway, down the staircase, whatever is in front of her.
Magpie, as you look left and right and scan your environment, you turn back to the rest of you gathered in Atta's workshop, and you are alone. And Khavren, as you begin to process what it is you've just seen, I think we're going to call it there.
I'm fine.
Elsewhere in Elysia, a hooded figure squats atop a ruined roof in the ivory. His gaze transfixed on Castle Antalya, an eyebrow raised at the sounds of what appear to be some sort of frantic commotion within its walls emanating from it. and the gold jewellery that hangs from his person jingling gently in the slight breeze through the ivories. His curiosity piqued more so by the small group of children of Aya that strode valiantly inside, moments before the sound some calamitous conflict from within. And his eyes narrow as 5 individuals sprint from the front of the castle to Cadwallader Manor, further into the ivory. As the Majani man looks back, he ponders what happens to those children of Aya. He waits a few moments and then watches a slow push on the front door, and staggering from the castle, covered in blood, a limping, yellow-scaled dragon sense, her eyes still glowing from her emergent divinity. And curious to see how this pans out, the assassin picks up the double-bladed glaive laying at his side and vaults from the roof into the shadows beneath. Congratulations, everyone, on completing episode 12.
Oh.
Oh boy!
So, a very chill episode. Very, very chill.
That was downtime.
Yeah.
That was downtime.
Nothing happens in downtime. So, if you enjoyed that, make sure to hit the like button and comment down below on what state you reckon that golem's in. And if you want to see what the crew get up to in their next score, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications of when we release new videos, because we release them very regularly. We won't want you to miss out. It will make us very sad, and potentially put our stress bars up. So, thank you for watching. Thank you lot for playing. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.